Good morning everybody and welcome back to I Loaf You. So today we are going to be making beignets, which is like a yeast raised donut essentially, but it is a New Orleans favorite. So we are going to get started with our yeast in our bowl, and to that we are going to add our granulated sugar, because that is going to act as food for our yeast so that it rises. And then we are going to add our lukewarm water, which I have, it is about 90-95 degrees, to activate our yeast. So now we are just going to whisk this up, and then we are going to let that sit for a few minutes and froth. While that is frothing, we are going to add to our mixer bowl our flour and our salt. So you can see here that our yeast is starting to foam a little bit. The yeast is pretty dissolved. So now to this, we are going to add our egg, which should be room temperature. And I have warmed up a little bit of milk so that it is about 80 degrees or so. That way we're not going to cool this down too much and freeze up everything. So now in our stand mixer, to our flour and salt, we are going to add in our softened butter, as well as our yeast mixture. And then we are going to put our dough hook on, and we are going to knead this until the dough comes away from the sides of the mixing bowl. Now generally you shouldn't have to scrape down the sides of the bowl, but when you're working with a small batch, sometimes the flour does get stuck to the sides of the bowl and doesn't come down. So in that instance you might just want to scrape off the sides of the bowl a little bit. now that our dough is a nice smooth consistency and it's soft but not too sticky, we are going to take this out of our mixer and we are going to put it into a bowl which we have pre-coated with either pan spray or with a little bit of vegetable oil. So now I am going to cover this bowl with plastic wrap and we are going to let it sit until it is doubled in size. So you want to set it in a nice warm or humid environment. If you have a proof box or a proof setting on your oven, you can use that. But you just want to let this double in volume and then we will continue. All right, now that our dough has risen, I have a floured surface here that we are going to take it out of our bowl onto, and we want to get this rolled out, and then we are going to get it cut into 12 pieces, or you can do a little more than that if you want smaller beignets. So now that we have our dough all cut, we're just going to let this rest while we have our oil heating to 350 degrees. Alright, so we're just going to get our powdered sugar onto our beignets. So we're going to put it in a sifter and we're just going to sift it over the top.